What up, YouTube? Matt here, Hollywood's Garage. Today we're working on this unit, Sentinel is the name of it, if you don't know already, but maybe now you do. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Today we're going to be changing something that's, you know what? It's a performance mod this time. Usually I just do, what, aesthetics, visual, I guess you want to call it, but today we're going to be doing different cold pipe and hot, so cold and hot side of the intercooler. So on the cold side, right, hot side comes in the bottom of the intercooler, this unit. Down there from your curb ski, goes through, boom, 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 comes through, and you can see how much that wedges down in there. It goes to like that thick. So what this kit is, she's a cheap Amazon or a eBay one. I'll put the link in the description. I ended up getting powder coated my powder coat color, as you can see underneath the truck. Oh, I've had it for a few months now, so we're finally gonna do a video today. It came with the piping, the boots, and the clamps. I'm not gonna use the clamps unless I have to, and if I have to use them, I'll use them up in places that are easy to access, because they're cheap. This is why it's a cheap kit. If you want the good kit, there's a Rudy's one. Mishimoto, I think, makes a good kit. But this is just a cheap one, because pipe is pipe. These were polished aluminum. I kind of lined everything up. They all look like the same in bends, so it should work out. We'll do the side first that has just minimal cutting. You got to cut this support out pretty much flush with the beam here. You got to take this off, which all you got to do is unbolt your intercooler, unbolt these two. Obviously you can leave that connected. You should be able to. You can leave your cooler connected in the back because it's got flexi lines. Undo those two, and that one obviously and that one on the other side. Just kind of pop it up, and then you can grinder these here. You can kind of see here. So I'm going to grab a little marker and put where I should have to cut, and then it should just slip this through, right? And then it just comes right up to here, to my deleted elbow. So first things first, yeah, we'll get a marker. We'll undo the intercooler. We'll undo these clamps. And that one, you can see I put a new boot on that one too. So those are the good clamps. The factory, or the ones that came with a boot. I can't remember, to be honest. I think they're the factory ones. And then I'll bring it back, I guess. You see my red line I put there. I use the red because it's easy to see, but yeah, you're not going to see it if I end up not cutting that much. Anyway, 13 mils for those three. Same with the other side. 13 mil. These are 10s. And then you should be able just to raise this up. But I haven't really tried yet, so I'll see. Maybe I'll even loosen this up too. That's a rubber line, so let me just try it again here with two hands. There's two more I had to undo. These go around the back side here that hold the radiator in with those rubber grommets. 10 mil. Get yourself a, where'd I put it? Right here, extension, electrical tape swivel, because mine's all wore out like a $2 you know what. And the 10 mil worked great. You can wiggle it in here. So now she's loose. So now you can pry it up. We can grab some kind of strap it to the hood to hold it up while you cut it with a grinder or whatever device you have. That metal here, this tin, might come out too. You might not put that back in if you don't have space, but we'll see. Some guys take it out. But for now, let's try to get this out. So I think these are deep socket 13 mils. If not, ratcheting wrench is your friend. And we'll try to get that out. You're able to kind of pull it through that way, up and out. It wasn't that hard at all. The rad's got a lot of movement to it, so we go back and forth. Look at the difference. You can see how much that puppy wedges down. Look at that. What is that, an inch and a quarter? Horrible. That's the new one there. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that's atrocious. Come on, Ford. So, well, there's even a dent on this side. So you're gonna notice after you installed it, you might get like a pound or two lower on boost, but that's because it's now more efficient. Boost is just relative to the pressure it's pushing, right? So easier flow, less boost, same power. Technically, you could turn your boost up to 1 or 2 more, boom, you got more horsepower, right? So just remember that when you go to put these on. More free flowing means less boost needed. And that's why people put bigger intercoolers on too, aftermarket ones. They free better, they flow better, they cool better, all that. But I'm not a rocket appliantist, so I'm giving you what I've learned and me boosting this car, what I've learned. So I'll get a grinder up, we'll cut that, and then I'll bring you back and let's hope that fits. You can see my beautiful artwork. I try to get this in there without chipping it all up. How am I gonna do this? I guess it went in the other way. If I have it in backwards. Should have thought of that before, right? Yeah, go that way. Marring it all up. There we go. Yeah, that fits a lot better. I mean, it's all dirty, but a little brake clean, a little rag will fix that up. Let me get a boot up top and we'll get that kind of snug. I mean, being eBay kit doesn't fit perfectly, but we made it work. Here you go. The issue we're having is, you know, you see those are about 1/4 of an inch out. Now, over time, will that fray and cause a big deal? Possibly. But, the best you can, I mean, I have it sucked in quite a bit, so you could put a spacer or two behind it maybe to help relieve some of that. Yeah, I gotta throw a couple washers behind there, maybe that's what I'll do. But regardless, it does fit in there. Get the clamps all tight, clean up the best we could. Obviously a little bit of marring, but brake clean couldn't get that off. But anyway, we'll deal with that. I mean, we got this cut pretty good. I was able to put the plastic piece back in, or the aluminum piece, so that's good to know. We got a good little space. I can grab my touch-up paint that I have for the truck, touch this up. Later I'll get a Mishimoto one, right? As it is, that's another good upgrade for these trucks, because otherwise the cab will twist because your cab mounts, if you don't have good ones, and it'll break your radiator because they bolt, which actually I still have to bolt down, but they bolt to this, right? So that helps keep it rigid, the Mishimoto cross member, from cracking your end tanks. This is a newer rad actually when I got the truck, so put those pieces back on. But then what we're gonna have to do for this side is obviously, you know, undo it up there. But underneath here, we're gonna have to cut at the 90, pretty much right behind the sway bar, so that way it can come out the top and the new piece goes in. Careful opening up this one. Oil will probably pour out because you're blow by, or if you had turbos go like I did, might have a little bit of oil in there. So let me just finish bolting up this rad. I forgot to do that, the U-bolt, and we'll start sawzalling. So we got it out after the cut. I just loosened these two bolts. I was able to move this over and pull that other one out the top. Cutting was easy. Saw blade, you'll use like a 4-inch. I'm changing out the boots. So these boots that come with are good quality. They're like a 4-layer. They're almost so thick that the clamps that I had that came on the truck barely go on. So I wouldn't use the clamps, like I said, but use their boots. At least it's all one color after, good quality. So now the short 90 goes here, and then put the rubber coupler, sorry, in your one hose clamp, and then you'll slide the other one from the bottom. There we have it, all done. Some tips: loosen this, keep this loose, gives you room. You got 2 clamps down there and a rubber boot. I ended up, did it the hard way. I ended up putting the top piece in first, kept that one loose, the top one, and then I tightened up this top one, and then went underneath. And as you see, I ended up cutting it where I said I had to lower the sway bar, so you have to drop it. So take those 2 mounts out on each side, that 2 and the other 2. It'll pivot down, gives you room to kind of finesse that bar, or sorry, that piping in. You gotta kind of twist when you push up and it'll go right in. End up using an old boot still on that one, but not a big deal to change that one out if need be. And then when you kind of bring it up into here, you gotta make sure it lines up. And it does. Make sure your clamps are kind of facing towards the driver, so you got room to get to them in the future if you need. Ended up using 2 of their clamps. The clamps are okay. The part that sucks is like where the spring mounts onto the I guess the T-coupler. There's a little slide-on piece that keeps it's like 3 pieces. It's a little flat piece, a spring, and then you got to put the nut on, and she's tight, so it was fun. Took a while just for one clamp, but all in all, looks good. There's a little color in here. If I want, I can always do this black pipe and yellow too, but the black kind of looks good too. The only downside of this whole piping is this one piece. You can see it kind of pushes that way a little bit, and this one's like a little twisted, but maybe some finessing. Maybe if I loosen this, pull it this way a little bit, I'm able to get a twist on this too. So, but right now it does work. That all clears. Flexing the boot here, see how long, I mean, that might not last long, that coupler. I ended up putting some washers back here for kind of a spacer, so that does help. Other than that, there was no other tips and tricks. Just, you need a Sawzall blade. You're gonna need some kind of Sawzall blade or grinder. Grinder worked good for that. Then obviously like a 10s and your 11s. And I think these were 13s, like I said. You can put the spacer piece back in, and then these 2 were the same size, so they were no big deal. A swivel worked the best to get these off with the extension. What else? Honestly, that's about it. Overall, it looks good. The old one looks like this. There actually wasn't much oil in this one. This would have been the bottom I cut off. There was none in there. It was just the hot side had some left in it, probably because it was in the intercooler. And they obviously never flushed the intercooler when I put the new turbos on and the new engine, because the old turbo had one seized up, so it probably leaked a lot of oil into there. But we'll see how this one turns out, how it cleans out. Like I said, I'm gonna have to finesse this a bit more anyway, so we'll see. Yeah, and it looks good. Adds a little color, a little pizzazz, if you will. I don't know if that's even a word. Get one of these. These are super handy. You can extend the legs, lift the truck life. It gets old putting your knees up on this over and over to lean over, so this helps. Okay guys, well, hopefully that helped you. Shows you that the stock piece is quite skinny there. Now the thing is to go take it for a test drive. Just pin it and get it to max boost and see if any of the boosts fly off. And if they do, just clean it with brake clean, throw some hairspray on the piping part, and before it dries, throw the coupler on and tighten her down. That usually helps. I only hit about 27 max PSI anyway with this tune on it, so I'm not too worried. If I was pegging out at 40, had a single turbo on it, you know, it'd be a little different, but not too worried right now. Anyway, hopefully this video helped. All the likes, the comments, and subscribes, and even I got a super thanks. I think I got like a $10 super thanks on a video. So, you know, it just goes to show you that you guys are watching and you appreciate what I do, and obviously I like making the videos for you. Catch you in the next one.